Hi everyone, I'm back again. I am now creating a tutorial on PySide, which is a Python extension or API for Qt, which is the probably industry standard for UI development cross-platform, so you can actually run your user interface on Windows, Mac, and Linux without changing your source code very much, which is really nice. And Python's already kind of that way anyway, so adding the power of Qt to Python is really exciting. There's two versions of PySide, well, sort of. There's PySide and there's PyQt. They're both essentially the same thing. The only main difference is the way they are open source licensed. PySide is a little more lenient, so I went with that one. If you are trying to make a program that you can use professionally or sell, you probably want to go with PySide, though I do still recommend you look at the contract because I'm not totally sure of any of the specifics, but I do know that PySide is more lenient in general. So I'm going with PySide and then Python 2.78. If you go with 3.42, I'm not totally sure if PySide is supported, but it may or may not be. You can experiment with that. The next thing we have to do is go over here to pip, which is Python's package manager. It allows you to install and uninstall packages or extensions to Python very easily from the command line. I will add this link to the description so you guys don't have to go searching for it. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to this getpip.py and you're going to save link as. Unless you're on a different browser, you might be able to just click on it and save it, but on Chrome, for whatever reason, that doesn't work. And I already have it installed, or downloaded I should say, so I'm going to just cancel this, but you should hit save. And that went to my desktop, by the way. And then, real quick, if you did actually install Python for the first time or pip for the first time, you're going to need to follow these steps before you do anything. You're going to have to right-click on my computer, go to Advanced System Settings, go to, sorry, that already pre-popped up. I think I was doing that before. Sorry, let me get back to that. Advanced System Settings, and then you're going to go on the Advanced tab to Environment Variables, and scroll down to Paths. And this is, then again, if you've never installed either of these two things before, you have to do this. You're going to add a semicolon at the end of whatever's there, and you're going to paste in wherever you installed Python, this path, at the end of that. And then you're going to do another semicolon, and you're going to go to your scripts folder, and you're going to copy this path, and you're going to paste that in as well. And then you're going to hit OK. I actually don't need these because I already have that done, so I'm just going to get rid of that and hit OK. And then you will need to log out of your computer and then log back in or restart your computer. Either one works. And that will give you access from your command line to the pip command and the Python command, which is really useful. If you don't have that, you actually have to go into that folder in your command line, and it's a lot more tedious to do it that way. So I highly recommend you follow those steps. Now that that's done, after you guys have either restarted or logged out and logged back in, you can do pip install PySide. And if you click enter, you'll see a lot more stuff than I did. I already have this installed, so it's not going to do anything. But that's how you install it. You can also, if you want to get rid of it at some point, do uninstall PySide. Pip uninstall PySide, and that will get rid of that package for you. Same thing with any of the packages that you install with pip. It will allow you to do install and uninstall or upgrade. Now that that's installed, the next thing we can do is we can go to libs, and then site packages down here, and then we're going to search for PySide. And inside this PySide document, you'll see designer. You can send this to your desktop, which will make a shortcut. This is an application itself for designing user interfaces. I have it as a shortcut on my desktop just because it makes things easier right here. And if you double click that, it will open up this designer application, which I can show you right here. And it will allow you to make widgets, main windows, dialogues without buttons, dialogues with buttons, whatever, all that stuff right in here. You don't have to write any code for this aspect of the project, which makes building user interfaces a lot faster than if you were to actually write it out in Python itself, which is an option, but I don't really recommend it. It takes too much time, and you can do everything you can do in code in here as far as the UI. So I'm just going to create a widget, and that's basically Qt's base user interface element. It's one aspect of an element, and one of those widgets is this Q widget, which is actually just a small window, or you can expand it to be bigger or whatever, but it's just a window widget. And then you can add things like a label. You just drag it over, creates a new widget on here. And as you can see over here, this is kind of the hierarchy of your widgets that you've added to this view. You can add a progress bar, let's say, or whatever you want, push button, doesn't matter for this current project. I'm just kind of showing you some of the stuff you can do with it. You can move things around. There are all sorts of little things that can help you lay things out, like a grid. If you put things in a grid, you can change how many grid rows and columns there are, and then you can lay things out in kind of a more organized way, as you see here. So then you actually, it also works well if you're making this view so that it can shrink and expand and keep proportions on certain things and things like that. So that's one aspect that's nice. So let's say this is the view we're going to go with. You can just go file save as, and then let's save this to the desktop and call it test view dot. I think it already saves it as a .ui file, so save, and that'll save that to my desktop. You can reopen it, change things, whatever. And then there's in the next tutorial, I'm going to go through the process of converting this user interface file to a actual Python file that you can start messing with. And that's kind of the beauty of PySide, is it allows you to develop fairly complex or very complex user interfaces in this designer view, and then you can export it into Python using their tool. I think, where is it? It's somewhere in here. It's it just converts that code and starts allowing you to execute the actual Python file itself and run it. And you can start hooking into some of the components and utilize them. So it makes it a lot more streamlined and fast to actually build user interfaces using this kind of combination workflow where you build your user interface in here and then actually attach the dynamic elements in Python, which I will show you in the next tutorial. Thanks for watching.